Welcome to the George FTTV YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss very important topics heading into round 5. So trade targets, rookies especially. We've got a lot coming through. So I'm going to go over those, just a little bit of background checks on them. And let you know what I'm thinking about those and make your own assessment and all that. But what I've done my research on, generally the same stuff, draft profile, reading supporters' comments, stuff like that, watching them as well. And we'll go through those because we'll look not just this week, but next week as well, because we need to plan in advance. And we can start upgrading with Nathan O'Driscoll out. It looks like we can make an upgrade potentially this week. For some, it might be hard. It might be maybe you want to sideways to a marriage. I don't think he'll be keeper. I think he won't be far off if he continues to play this role. But regardless, like a Peatling is there, but I think just there's too many mids at the Crows at the moment. But he looks really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if his mid-time does go up. But a key injury to any one of those guys in the Crows, and I think he can do 90 plus, no problem. So, I think at the moment we're looking for keepers, and we're looking for rookies. Now, if you want to go like a value pick like a Tom Stewart, you could go there. For me, just the durability is a bit of a concern, so I think I'll steer clear. But if you get a 450k player that performs close to or in line with the top liners, which is a pretty big ask, like your Sinclair's going off at the moment in Whitfield and Zorko. If he goes 10-15 off that and he's almost 150, 180k cheaper, you'd probably take that, and that's a good result. But I probably won't go there personally. I've used too many trades for that. So now this is what I brought up or just quickly wrote down on Notepad. These are the rookies I think we'll get over the next few weeks. It's an okay crop. There's definitely been worse. Remember last year we got the Graham, Sam Darcy, and Closey, which are amazing rookies early in the season. But this sort of second batch is not as good as them, but there's potential here. So Hawley 100 average. I've got the VFL averages and then the under 18s average for Gross, just the disposal count because I couldn't be bothered, to be honest, adding up all the numbers. Unless you can find that somewhere. It might be on DFS, actually. I'll learn that for next time. But Hawley's 100 average. He's defender mid. I assume probably more halfback, I'm guessing. But in the VFL, he's one where just worry about him next week. It's not even worth thinking about at the moment. Just because the sub-risk is really, really high, you would think. Did come on, have a good impact. But, we've seen, I'm watching the Crows, McHenry and Berry at times come on, rack up a few touches late in the games when they've been sub. But it's hard to know when everyone's you're a bit fresher. So Cleary 85 DT in the VFL last year. That's really, really promising. So I think his first score was about a 60 odd. Tom Papley's out for a long time, 6 to 8 I think. So maybe Cleary has that spot. They've got a few other guys like a Hanley. A few other guys might go out before him. I'm not too sure. I don't know about going early. I think I'll wait one. I'll wait one on Cleary. I think maybe could he be sub? I don't know. I think it'll be good for them because from what I read in preseason, he was they rated him. I think read a lot of good things about him and had him on my bench in the forward line for quite a long time till the off-field stuff that happened with him. But it should be all good. Clay Hall, 64 DT. So remember, it's DT, not SuperCoach. He's clearly going to average more in SuperCoach because of the way he plays. The outside game seems pretty non-existent, which is weird because in his draft profile it says he's a good inside and outside midfielder and played a bit of wing, but I'm not seeing that. The numbers don't reflect that in the waffle. So I think he'll play because Tim Kelly's sort of down on form. I've seen him. There was an interview with him a few months ago, just saying, I don't know, losing love of the game, something like that. I was struggling with it, or something along those lines. And I guess you can sort of understand him and Oscar just have been losing so much at that club. Still looks to continue this year. I watched back. Contested ball winning's okay. Didn't do a lot wrong. Pretty one-dimensional, it seems. But was able to win those contested ball, handballs, mostly in the around stoppages. So I think he's the best target for this week. I think he'll keep playing. They've got a lot of young kids in that team that, look, Hall, I think there's potential for sure that he could be sub, but there's a lot of other guys in that team that could easily be sub, like Gross. They've brought in, I forget the name, Hamish Davis, something like that. They've brought in another guy. So yeah, I think there's just heaps of players that can be sub, and I'm not sure, like Hall could be one, but I think there's others that could be sort of below him in terms of sub risk or high or low, whatever it is. So I think I'd back him in, and I'd be okay trading him in. Touch on Gross while we're at it. I think he's probably a better prospect than Hall. Hall's, I think, third year. Gross is first year. I think he's one, just see how he goes, give him another game. But I think he's one for them to get excited about. Dudley and Brock are the other two. So Dudley played in the SANFL last year, averaged 45. Looks like small forward role. He's the nephew of Eddie Betts, which is kind of cool. I think I was listening to Selby's SuperCoach podcast. Yeah, I think it was a SuperCoach one. And yeah, he basically said he thinks he'll stay in the team. Hopefully JL was thinking the same, because I sort of agree that Freo, I guess one of the reasons why they really wanted Shea Bolton is they're probably like those small forwards, like crafty, good at crumbing, stuff like that. And I think Dudley can provide that. He was able to accumulate in juniors 20 plus touches. I don't know if I'm guessing he played a bit more mid then. So I think some of the things he does is pretty good. And I think one of the best things as well is the fixture. Fremantle have Richmond. You would think Freo do a number on them. Richmond have been competitive at times this year, so I don't think it's like a certainty that they absolutely annihilate Richmond, but you would think they get it done comfortably. And then they've got Melbourne, and for some reason, from memory, Melbourne have been smashed by Fremantle quite a lot recently. Even when Melbourne were good, like they were getting smashed by Freo. So past few years, so I think they should. I don't see why that won't happen again. So that's two very easy matchups for Dudley to cash in on. He does have the 80 in his system from round one. I'm expecting a 50 average. Now, Swikowski is going to come in. Does that push Dudley out the team? I don't think so, but I think it could push him to sub potentially. So I'm a little bit worried on Dudley. The only reason why I'd go Dudley over Hall is if it makes your trade work. And I think, unfortunately for me, I'm in that boat. Hall's role is just better. So they're both mature age, though. If you want to call third and fourth year mature age. Brock's the other one. So the coach... I listened to the interview, the press conference during the week. McQualter spoke about Brock. He actually gave him some pretty good praise. I know it was an extremely tough job. He's got to play in Hogan. Now he's got to play in Curnow. His first and second game. Absolute nightmare for the young man. But, and yeah, not a lot of defensive running as well in that midfield. Actually, Hall's defensive running was actually not too bad, I thought. But I think probably like Kelly wasn't probably chasing as much, so he was a bit down on form. But yeah, not a lot of pressure from the midfield. So yeah, they were just a little bit at sea, that defense, because of I feel like Ginby was doing overtime trying to spoil absolutely everything that was coming his way. So I think Brock they're running one true key defender at the moment, and that's Brock. They've dropped Harry Edwards. I don't know if that's a tanking strategy to run one key position player, but it looks like McGovern's back in 1 to 2 weeks. I'm actually keen on this rookie because I think if he's ahead of Edwards and that holds, well, he should hold his spot. And the coach had a lot of good things to say about him. It took like the first instep of the game, but like was okay. Like, I mean, he got 9 kicked on you, so can you really say that? Some of those weren't all on him though, but I like him. One of the reasons why is I can see Gross being sub, Dudley being sub. Hall maybe, Cleary maybe, Hawley yes for sure, he's already been sub, so yeah, it's a bit odd that they dropped Hall, brought him back in, so I don't even know what they're doing with him. You can't sub a key defender really, tactically, just especially if you're running just him and McGovern when he's back. So I'm actually quite interested in Brock, 99k. I think he'll be a good one for us, and we can save money on that too. My plans at the moment, I'd like to grab Hall. Unfortunately, I'm going to grab Dudley because the premium I want is expensive. We've made that mistake in the past, but there's one I really, really want, and I had him in my team most of pre-season. So if you're looking at a rookie this week, I would go Hall. If you need the money, you can go Brock. Could you go early on? Sorry, not Brock. Go Dudley if you need the money. I do think Dudley's sub risk is higher than Hall, so it is a little bit of a risk. So yeah, get to Hall if you can. I think. Could you go early on Brock if you need that money for the structure? I'd probably just wait just in case. But I think the coach had so many good things to say about him, or was positive about him. I think that's just a good sign that they're going to keep playing him. Maybe just backing him up because they lost by 100 or whatever. So, yeah, again, reiterate, go Hall this week. If you can't afford him, probably Dudley might be okay. At least he'll be in the 23, I reckon. Showed enough. And it's a need for the Dockers. And then next week, we'll look at probably Cleary, Brock, and El Hawley. Gross probably could be okay too, but probably less scoring power, being much younger. So hopefully that helps. Let me know what you think and what you're thinking. I'll be going Dudley, but I wish I could go Hall. I'm definitely getting Cleary next week. All going well. So my own trades, we'll get to them in a second. So in terms of, we'll go through defenders and we'll sort by price. So defenders that you could go this week. Now, would I go Flanders? No. Sinclair? I think Sinclair is just too expensive at the moment, so I think we'll let that one go. Zorko probably too, and the age always concerns me. We've been saying for years now, are they going to sub him off to manage him? But they never do. The run's still really good. Collingwood Saints. The run's quite nice. I remember him going massive on Gold Coast last year too. I think that's one I'll let go. It's too expensive. I probably need to let go Whitfield, but I think I kind of want him. Just because I think he's my preferred of the three. If there was no hamstring in preseason, if that matters to you at all, I think Sinclair would be my preferred. But otherwise, I think Whitfield, he did this post-buy anyway. I don't love him on small grounds like Norwood. This is just from owning him last year and watching him. You look at his poorer scores, they're all on small grounds. His bigger scores are pretty much all on bigger grounds, except for Manuka Oval, I think, which is I'm not sure if it's like small to medium. I know it's like nowhere near as wide as MCG or something, but seems to love that ground though. I don't think I'll go Whitfield this week, but he's one I definitely like. And he's the only one. There's only two players I'm paying that 600-ish for, and that's probably Whitfield, and the other one's probably Andy or Sarong. I've already got Andy, but Sarong's there too. Otherwise, I think there's enough value. There's a few at the 500k and 550k range you can definitely go for. I guess it depends what you want. I guess value is still important to target, but you want keepers as well. Sheasel, I think, is a good target. I think he's Harry Sheasel. I wouldn't worry if he's returns to that half-forward mid sort of role. I think he'll still be close enough to top 6, if not top 6. Houston suspended. Jordy Clark I like, and same with Luke Ryan. Could be a nice pod. So it seems very evident that I was looking at the marks. Is the Wheelo website? I don't know if you know that website where you can look at all your team stats, and the marks are well down for Fremantle, and Andy's not taking many marks. Same with Clark and Ryan. So their DT scores are quite down. SE's not too bad, but their DT scores are down. Even Andy's DT score is down too. I think it's way too low at the moment. I'm just watching Andy. I saw him present for a few cheap marks, but they didn't give it to him. But they're definitely moving it quicker this year and taking less marks. So I don't think he's not going to be that guy from last year, Luke Ryan. I still think he's 100 to... I think he's like 100 to 108 range, or 100 to 110 range maybe. 110 might be a bit generous given he did, I think, low hundreds post-buy. I think it might have been close to 105. Either way, it wasn't 110. But the run is beautiful. Richmond, Melbourne, Adelaide, St Kilda, Collingwood. Beautiful run for halfbacks, I think. Without looking at... I don't have the DFS thing, but just based on what we've seen. Good run. NASA's a good target. Playing a little bit higher up, so I don't know if it might be better for him because he's setting up a few more goals and kicking some himself. So it might be not too bad, but still, yeah, still that halfback, just playing a little bit higher at times. I think Dale's like, I have less trust in him, even though he's got the defense to himself at the moment. I think when the Bond comes back, maybe Freya goes back. Bond's back in the team, Freya goes back, and maybe that eats a little bit into Dale's ceiling. I don't think Dale will be top 6, but I think the way he's going should be close enough. Holmes, I think the issue is a lot of these defenders are not getting tagged, whereas Holmes is. Whereas in the mids, it's going to be impossible to have mids that don't tag. Like, sure, you can get your Brayshaw, your Dunkley and whatnot. They're great, but we're probably going to have Sarong, Merritt, Dacos, and the tags will come. But you're going to, at the end of the day, these guys, I'd be shocked if they're not top 8 anyway. So I think could send like a George. I don't know. There's a Bedford there. The price is okay. I think I prefer Nass though. And then the big one, I don't know if it's a big one here, but Tom Stewart. You can definitely wait one. Nix has basically said this week that they're going to put some time into him. I have no idea what we can do. Maybe we can use Neil Bullen because we've tried to use players as taggers in the past and it just hasn't worked. Like pretty much ever under Nix. Sam Berry once tagged LDU and I think that's about it. Like I can't remember anything else. The durability stresses me out with him, but he's a good price. So it's just whether you wish to go there or not. In terms of mids, I know the mid I want. You probably know who I'm thinking. So mid only. Dunkley. Good run as well. I think kind of missed the big one at the start. So I think he was a good starting pick. But I think he's like, I think you'll get him cheaper at some point. But I think because the run is so good, I think you can go there if you want. McLuggage, I probably wouldn't. I just don't trust him. But it looks really good. Good run. Like I don't see why he wouldn't do 110 plus for this year. But I think, yeah, probably let that go. For me, if you're looking for a mid and you have 595k, I think you just pay for Andy. And again, like the more you pay, the harder it is to get Rooks off. But as long as it's not screwing up your upgrade progression, then I think you'll be fine. So if you're playing weeks in advance, see if you can just keep upgrading. There might be a week where you need to double down because a lot of our Rooks, like for me, defender Rooks, the Essendon guys, 1 week less to make cash. A lot of, pretty much 4 or 5 of my midfield Rooks got injured. Some have come back or dropped. So a lot of the cash in is sort of halted, where I'm probably looking to offload a Davidson next week to a Cleary, bank that money, get an upgrade done. Even though he's going to make a bit more, but it's just like there's not enough money on everyone else's head at the moment. So I'm a big fan of Andy Brayshaw. Started him. One of my first picks. I think he was sort of in and out a little bit in my team. Just I liked Sarong, I liked Butters, and then whatnot. I liked Dawson. Like Will Ashcroft, dare I bring that up again, but also like Steele, didn't pick him, so you win some, you lose some, but yeah, I think he's number 1 mid target for me. The next mid target, I probably like. You could, I don't see a reason why I'd go Noah over a Freo mid. I just can't justify that. Merritt, maybe it's Sparrow retention this week, probably not. I'm not sure. I think Sparrow was starting off half forward and then going to the mids. So yeah, apologies, I can't stop people from yapping in this house. If I can turn the gain down. Hopefully that fixes it a little bit, but probably wouldn't go a Gold Coast mid over a Freo mid. Can't justify that at all. Sarong's going to get tags, but I genuinely think he's a 125 plus mid with no tags. And if you look at the tags, there could be a Sparrow here. There will be a Windhager here, there will be a Bedford here, and then there's a Jordan as well, and another Windhager. Yuck. That's horrible. I wonder if they can use Windy to tag once Philippu's back, because they got McRae, Steele, Philippu. Plus, they can run other mids through there. A little bit stubborn because I'm pretty set on Sarong, to be honest. But I think you can fade and be confident in that. He's got Richmond. Did they tag him last year? I think they did. He didn't go that well. Yeah, I'm being a bit... I just like Sarong so much, and he's leading the comp for clearances, and he's been tagged twice already, so by a long way he's leading clearances, so I think I just really like him. I think you can get him cheaper off tags and stuff, but yeah. There could be a... What's projected? So if they have him going at like 100 to 115 basically, and if he does 100 to 115, he'll drop another 50k. I think he can do a bit more than that, and yeah. Even when he's tagged, I think that 84 is probably his worst score for the year. I'm pretty much talking myself into it, but I think I'm going to grab Sarong this week, but I'd prefer Andy over him. Dawson, I think, is a good target. Off a short break, I don't love, but I think it'll be close enough to top 8, if not top 8. Green's interesting because I think the tag's going elsewhere at the moment. You could go Tom Green. Not for me with the injury proneness of him, so it's a no from me. It's weird because I want Sinclair because there's no one like... If you don't have Sinclair, it's going to kill you. Whereas if you don't have Green, I don't think it's going to kill you because you've got plenty of mids that can score in line with him. Butters is probably a post buy. Just wait for him to drop. Same with Bont. And then Day, unfortunate, you got to trade. I mean, Connor is certainly not a target. I'm holding because I have no choice. And if I trade him, he'll go well. It's a bit like Horn Francis. If you look at the CBAs, they're up from last year, and he did 100 last year. I guess the only thing is Porter probably not as good as they were in the home and away season last year, and there's a bit of a new game plan, which makes things a little bit confusing as to how that affects his output. If anything, it might help because they're playing a bit more high possession, even though it's through handball. So that is sort of interesting, but maybe that's more suited to uncontested game. But regardless, Connor did 100, and I think he did... If you take out the injury games, he did like 105 to low hundreds last year. So there's no reason why he can't do 100 plus, and that's good enough for now. Post buy, it's not, but we're going to hold Connor, and for some reason they're tagging him. I don't know if it's because he's captain, but when you've got Horn Francis playing like that, and Butters is going to start clicking into gear very shortly, I can't fathom why you would go to Rosie. Is it just because he's captain and he's much easier to shut out? I don't know. If you're watching Horn Francis play like that, you got to send somebody to him, I think. So I think if the tags do come, I think they go elsewhere, and that's pretty much the bet I have to make because now I'm stuck with this. Like, yeah, I'd love to get him up to another player, but it's just too late. It's too late for me. I chose him over Horn Francis. Bad move. Next week is the target for Nick, so he's going to have James Jordan, you expect. My only concern with this is the plantar fascia stuff, whether that's still a thing. Saw it, he was crampy in the first game. Maybe that was because he was off legs for a decent amount of preseason. It was hot as well, and we saw him getting his lower legs looked at. I believe it was last game. Just came off the bench, got it looked at, and then, yeah, he's fine. Kept playing through it, but didn't seem to bother him too much. Just was talking to the physios on the bench about it and pointing to his lower leg. So I wonder if that's affecting him, but you're probably going to get him, say he goes 90 this week, he drops 20k, 560, 565k for Nick Dacos. I mean, I think you just take that. I think you get him. So I think he's the target for next week. Heaney, I'm probably not going to pick Heaney this year. I hope he goes really well. He's had a limited preseason. Was in like a moon boot for a long time. And I remember him speaking on radio where he says like his ankles, like they'll never be what they used to be when he had surgery on them. And basically like other muscles sort of compensate for that. And I think that's sort of was one of the reasons for his leg injury, or how the reason why it got worse last year, so in the finals. So that's that. Yeah, Horn Francis. Now, if you've traded him, if you don't have him, you can grab him, I guess. But for me, I think I just anti-pod now because I've taken all his bad scores. I threw away the good score. I think I just anti-pod now, and hopefully, I mean, it's fine if you want to get him back for sure. and he's good value. But I think I'll just hope whatever premium I have while everyone else is Juan Francis, I hope that we do better than that. And I don't know if that will happen, but yeah. Throwaway keeper. That's a very dumb value keeper. Should not have done that. Simeo's up as well. Drew's out of the midfield. I think you trade Callahan. I think the mere threat of a Winhager tag, and we know what Ross is like. He can be a bit. Oh, you don't want to come to. I don't know. You can just see what he's like. It'll just because he knocked back the contract, he'll probably tag him. So that's that. I think that's about it. LDU's cheap. You know he'll go on a run at some point. Just the trust issues with him. So yeah. There's no real forwards to talk about. I guess the main one is Petrarca. I'm quite happy to wait on Petrarca. I mean, he's Christian Petrarca. There's not much I think that can go wrong. But I think just this whole situation where, I mean, when he was carrying on a bit, like throwing his mouth guard, head in his hands in his head, basically, head in his hands. That's the one. For everyone to see, I think he was sort of sending a message, and yeah, he's clearly unhappy there, and he can see the season slipping away, and it's probably to him, it feels like an absolute waste of a season. He's been through the ringer with his vital organ injury, so fingers crossed. I'll wrap this up because people are home talking. So my trades for this week: O'Driscoll goes, and I will be getting Sarong. I'll ditch Stone. Probably has a bit more money to make. I could see him milking another like 80k. Just needs to hit a 60. But his last 3 scores have been like 20, 40, and 45 or something. That gives me just enough for Dudley. I like the run coming for Sarong. I think there's going to be tags, though, and it's the bad tags too. It's the Bedford Jordan tags. Not Jordan, he just had Jordan. The Winhager. Winhager's very frustrating tag. I think some players were able to work through the James Jordan tag, but Winhager's very frustrating tag. He went to Jordan Dawson for a bit, and he just held his jumper the whole time he was tagging him, so Saints will want to win that too. It's not like the Saints just need to play kids and develop. Like they're playing to win. I mean, like every team, but you know, if a team's down by 10 goals, so just like stop tagging for the sake of it. But yeah, it's a Sparrow. I don't know if Sparrow is a good tagger. I think what will end up happening is Freo will smash him, and then they'll drop the tag if it comes. 11 touches a game. This is a long time ago now. Team first. We don't like that. Let's tag it. But yeah, so those are my trades for this week. Short has a nice defender run. I'd love to get... because this is fake premium. And to be honest, like these Essendon defenders against Melbourne, they're probably going to outscore Short this week. But Short's got a decent run for halfbacks. I can't remember. I know Dale went 110 on Freo, but he's got Melbourne next week, so I think we hold for that one. Does he? No, he's got Gold Coast, and then he's got Melbourne. It's just annoying. This should have been a premium that we should not be trading. But it's just a failed mid-pricer that needs to go, so I think we can try fix him next week. I'm not opposed to just double downing next week and just backing in Short. Fingers crossed for a good score that he can go within 20, 30 points of a Sinclair, you know, the big 3 at the moment. So that's my plan, I guess, yeah. We'll see what happens with... I can see, like, potential issues coming. Like, De Koning, if they want to help him out, if he needs help and Pitney comes back in. Roberts, what's the go with Bice? He did score 115 last week with Bice in the team, so I don't think it's too much to stress. But a few bad scores with Bice getting a lot of usage, I think that'll test a few people. And sure, it's just a failed pick. We already know that. So Yeah, and then Rosie's sort of just back him into average 100, honestly. So the team's not perfect, but I just like... Yeah, I guess we just upgraded O'Driscoll this week, but I would have loved to like piss off Short and Rosie, get like... Could have got like Whitfield and Horn Francis back, but... Oh, I can't do Rosie to Horn Francis, actually. That would be... We made our bed with that one, but yeah. Anyway, that's it from me. Hopefully that was a helpful video for you guys. Best target defense, probably... I guess I like Whitfield, a little bit cheaper than the other boys. Not the greatest run with small grounds, in my opinion, but regardless, he's going to be top 3. It looks like possibly top 1 or 2. Midfield, I'd like the Freo boys, especially Brayshaw, because there's no tags come up, so definitely get him if you can. Rucks, you just leave. I didn't speak about it, but grab Briggs, I think. Actually, I think it's more than just... I don't think it's as simple as grab Briggs, because you can wait for a Sherry to come down this week with a bad matchup against Wits. If you kind of want to tank that position for one more week and wait for him to drop money, you can go for a Lloyd Meek, who has a really soft run coming up. Only 60k more than... what's his name? 60k more than Briggs. I think Sweet's actually been restrictive, but he's got the Geelong West Coast matchup, which is really nice, but then gets a little bit restrictive leading into the bye. I think he's a fine option. I'd probably prefer to wait for Sherry. Make sure he's just shaking off this stupid hamstring. There was icing at the end of the game, but not on the injury list. You could go a Max Gorn, like restrictive matchup this week. Nice run, got West Coast. Oh boy, if that's a Liam Reedy and Shrek's not back, that would be nasty. I think with Gorn, I just I think it's an age thing, and we just know. I just feel like Melbourne are bad, and there's like we know his start of the seasons are better than his finishing ends to the season. So I think I'm just gonna. I would wait for Sherry personally, and that way most likely going to be a top 2 or 3 ruck. Not stress too much over matchups. Remember, you're getting this player for the rest of the year. Excuse me. I mean, if Flynn's back, I still wouldn't go there. Be great if you have him and you can hold him. But anyway, that's it from me. I guess how we'll line up on field. Hopefully Lindsay plays. That would be nice. Probably Sardis on the field. I'm going to loop Nevitt and Levi, I think. Definitely field Sardis. Sardis and Lindsay are going to be important for us, and Nevitt too. Like all 3 of those we have. So Chris Scott said he would have been in the best 22. So better keep his word. I mean, you never know what that bloke is going to come up with, but it's probably as long as his name, probably will avoid the sub anyway, because they'll bring someone as a laid out and bring someone in as sub or something. So gonna loop Levi and Nevitt. I think Bulldogs at a small ground. I'm guessing he's getting a lot of his bowl uncontested. Let's have a look. CP. I didn't really discuss if Will was the target, but he's still getting a bit contested. Maybe we loop Lindsay coming back from injury. Even if maybe he doesn't even play, who knows? But I think we can loop something here. Maybe we'll just straight field Nevitt. Nevitt's prone to bad ratios, and Adelaide away is probably not the best matchup, but we'll definitely field Sardis straight, and then field 2 of Levi, Nevitt, and Lindsay. Fingers crossed we get the right one. Oh, and Pryor versus Reed. Probably go Pryor. I don't know. I feel like Reed's ceiling's a little bit higher though. Definitely have to feel Bice. So you can almost be happy to field Trainer, like Trainer over Shaw. There's barely any difference at the moment. If you take out that bad game from Trainer, I know you can pick and choose. They're pretty much averaging the same. So that's enough from me. Hopefully your week goes well. Your trades don't backfire like mine. And you're happy with your team. So I'll see you guys in the next one.